This exhibition with ceremony, I'm going to introduce my friend, Bloodstone.
Hello, everybody. I need y'all to wake up, please. Thank you, beautiful artists. What I'm asking, again, I'm Bloodstone. I'm asking for us to really be present. You know, that's a word in the zeitgeist. Folks be on TikTok, and I guess what's the one, red no, all these different things. That my name? I don't know. But I'm here not only as an artist, but as a descendant, you know, like a living ancestor. And that is very important to me. BJ knows I just don't do stuff. You know, I haven't actively performed in front of a group of people in like 10 years since Afro-Punk, which means I've changed a lot. And I specifically moved to the Bay Area because it's a place of sacred healing arts. This is where I could be myself, a black gay man who's been very sick with cancer, a person who is just trying to do it, you know what I mean? It took me a minute to realize that Black History Month was supposedly canceled. Like, I can't fathom that. Like, folks were like, well, Trump canceled it. And I'm like, that's crazy. Because you can't undo what Carter G. Woodson and other ancestors have done. So I want to call in names, and I would invite you all to, because there's no ceremonies and no ritual without spirit. And it's feeling, to me, honestly, kind of spiritless. I don't want folks just looking at me. That's overwhelming. So y'all can look at each other, you know, literally say hi to your neighbor. Don't just do it for me, really say hi to each other. Okay, I feel a little bit more comfortable. Because I think when people heard performance, they were just like, Bloodstone gonna dance. I'm not gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. But what I am gonna do, for those who are comfortable enough, I will ask you to take your shoes off to ground. Because the talking and acknowledgement of honoring is real to me. You know, and that's important because what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm inviting you into something that's a very important tradition to me, and a tradition of this country, and being an African person in the diaspora. So before we do that, context is important. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all. If you have a phone, which in Bay Area, so mostly I would do it as complicated, I want you to Google Lift Every Voice on NAACP if you don't have a paper copy, because I don't want people just taking pictures of me. You gotta use your phone for something else. Am I right? My sister's here, y'all. So, what's really important to know, before there was gay, you know, we've just been free people. You know, it wasn't how we did our sex or how people perceived our genitalia, and we still those same people. And I think that's paramount to reckon with. No matter what, because it's a spiritual thing, you know. And so I'm going to read a couple things before, and one part that's really important to me is to understand the nation of people from Burkina Faso and Ghana, we are considered gatekeepers, not this Hollywood type stuff, but we are important in every community we belong to, because you can't get to the next part of life if you don't have a gatekeeper. And that's why we went through it, because gatekeepers been thrown off their post, we hate ourselves, so that's important to know. Some of the words that are coming up for me are urgent, uncompromising, ritual act, the circle. I want us to understand the importance of a circle and keeping it unbroken. And Dr. Marimba Ani always talks about how your culture is your immune system. I don't think y'all heard that. Your culture is your immune system. So think about that. How's your immune system? How's your people around you? And also, your wound is your gift. And how do we think about civilizations healed? Because this is a civilization. And I'm a death midwife. What's important to know is that there are things worse than death. And we live in it. Take that in. Kuji Chakalia. What is a ceremony of ritual of self if you ain't got no Kuji Chakalia? These are words that they don't get them, we can Google them. Y'all just use that. Ubuntu, and I gotta recognize Elegua, who's opening these doors. All the directions, north, south, east, west, but also I want to recognize our vertical direction, which got us all up here from upright. And I want to acknowledge the folks that could not be here, but are here in spirit. We welcome them in. And I'm doing this because I'm going to ask y'all to do something, but y'all need context. And this is called The Modern Search for Community. And it's by Maladona Soleil. Since coming to the West, I have found that modern people long for the fulfilling connection that are available through a healthy community, the sense of connection and coherence that I have experienced in village life. These are the Dagara people that I mentioned. The cry for community is everywhere. As Carolyn Schaefer and Kirsten Anunsen point out in their ambitious and detailed book, Creating Community Anywhere, Americans have defined themselves in terms of individual freedom. A people breaking away from old limiting structures, dogmas, and attitudes, and pushing forward to new frontiers. And if you feel moved, you can say Ashe or yes. I need that. Okay, I'm sweating up here. Got my haircut for y'all and everything. Not only haircuts. I'm popping out. Community is a term that is so familiar to people in the West and yet so hard to achieve. Constantly on the move from city to city, often separated from one's family by geographical distance, and commonly losing primary relationships, such as marriage, to the ravages of separation. Westerners often find themselves relying solely upon themselves, their distraction of choice, or their therapist to manage the crisis of daily living. Shout out to my therapist here. Meanwhile, their psyches crave belonging in a community with others, where they know they will find healing once and for all. That's the ceremonies, right? That's the ritual itself. The urge for community in the West is challenged by the tendency to see community as antithetical and even a threat to individuality. Many modern people believe that community absorbs the dignity and the integrity of the individual and threatens to kill the much cherished sense of self. The truth is that one doesn't lose oneself as a result of being part of a community. I know y'all feeling it, but work with me. Ooh, I'm from Kansas City. I ain't far away. I live here. Shout out to Oakland. All day. On the contrary, being in community leads us to a healthy sense of belonging, greater generosity, better distribution of resources, and a greater awareness of the needs of the self and the other. I feel like some people from the Bay up in here, people from my Pilates class. In community, the needs of the one are the needs of the many. In community, the needs of the one are the needs of the many. In community, one does not worry excessively about one's intimate relationships because you are not left to confront your problems alone. I love coaching. In such a context, people are not encouraged to be on the run every day, chasing survival. In this way, being part of a strong community strengthens one's individuality by supporting the expression and the enjoyment of one's unique gifts and talents. Individuality, not individualism, is the cornerstone of community. Individuality is synonymous. Y'all know they did this. On gang. This means that a person and his or her or their unique gifts are irreplaceable. The community loves to see all of its members flourish and function at optimal potential. In fact, a community can flourish and survive only when each member flourishes, living in the full potential of his, hers, or their purpose. To honor and support its members is in the self-interest of any community. So thank y'all for letting me be black. And what I need for y'all, if you got your lyrics up, I want to do something that is very important. I think what we haven't been doing is singing together. And no shit, I love all the songs that like what's going on. I will call somebody out because y'all recording stuff and nobody coming to me. But I can't help but share the things that are my living for survival. And the first thing that came up to me when asked to do this piece was the first thing, I can sing it. Then I was like, no, we can sing it. And I want us, we in the Bay and people been going up for that like us, like Hendrick. I need that same energy. Maybe you like Journey, maybe you like Taylor Swift, whatever that energy is for you, I need you to bring it and not depend on me. Don't look to me. I want us to show what we can do, because if we can't really sing together, how we expect to mobilize and really come together? We're afraid of our own voices and each other's voices. So I just want to, and I'm not going to butcher, I'm not going to act like I know all the lyrics, so I'm going to get a piece of paper too. And I want us to do it earnestly. I want us to do it for Essex. I want us to do it for our future. A lot of folks here have children, a lot of have children in their life, and I want us to do it from our heart and in Essex. So, we're going to get started. I'm not singing on the mic. And go. Really sing it! By ancestor Essex named Better Days. In daytime hours, guided by instincts that never sleep, the faintest signals come to me over vast spaces of etiquette and restraint. Sometimes I give in to the pressing call of instinct, knowing the code of my kind better than I know the national anthem or the Lord's Prayer. I am so driven by my senses to abandon restraint, to seek pure pleasure through every pore. I want to smell the air around the thickly scented. I want to smell the air around me thickly scented with the playboy's freedom. I want impractical relationships. I want buddies and partners, names that I will forget by sunrise. I don't want to commit my heart. I only want to feel good. I only want to freak sometimes. There are no other considerations. A false safety compels me to think that I will never need kindness, so I don't recognize that need in someone else. But it concerns me going off to sleep and waking, throbbing with wants, that I'm being consumed by want, and I wonder where stamina comes from to search all night until my footsteps ring awake sparrows, and I go home, ghost walking, driven indoors to rest by hunter's guides, to love myself as fiercely as I have in better days. So this is a prayer for our better days, and there's more to come, but I really give thanks for you all singing, and I pray that this is something you can take with you, and that you can hum it, and that you can know that there are other things that you tap into other traditions. And I want to shout out to all the Black gay men, the Black queer folks, the